Previously on Coach P.I.C.S Mysteries from the Free Throw Files.
The big game is in 5 days. These kids aren't ready. I'm here early to drop a few sinkers and work through my feelings. Basketball fans will know what I mean.
If I can't teach these kids how to dribble, how am I ever going to solve the case of Deborah Dubois? She's been missing for a week, and the Dubois Library Dynasty is starting to think I don't have the juice. Pimpkins, you're not looking so good. You sick?
Coach, it's the Powerade. Getting kids sick.
Powerade? But Powerade has a 100% success rate for generating clean, healthy power. Maybe you ate some bad meat from the rec cafe.
Yeah.
Without warning, a geyser of blue vomit shoots from Toe Jam Pimpkin's mouth. A burst of liquid violence paints the coach's office a new shade. He knows just the right underpaid custodian to clean up his office and the soon-to-be messy locker room. Charm of the Big Blue Part 2, Blue Monday. The rec center's head janitor, Bug Greene, leans back on an upside-down bucket. Both of Bug's feet stab adjacent corners of the minuscule janitor's closet. Bug is watching a really funny show on a really small TV propped on a bucket between his legs. He's enjoying the type of precarious escapism custodial employees experience when they're on a tiny TV break. Coach P.I.C.S steps through the closet door and clears his throat to the back of the janitor's head. Despite the sound of throat clearing, Bug Greene stays focused on the TV sitting on a bucket between his legs. Hey Bug, a kid spewed in my office. Turned the thing bluer than an avatar.
Oh, so like a Navi? Who spewed?
Toe Jam Pimpkins. The kid turned into a volcano. Blue is everywhere.
Yeah. That reminds me, I watched Avatar recently. Took me 11 15-minute breaks to get through the whole thing.
Bug, you can pause your 15. I only need a minute of your time. I won't tell anyone you took a 16.
I can't just pause at 15. The rec board has a guy who watches me. Joke's on them because I watch him too.
I wouldn't be interrupting if it wasn't so bad.
Fine. I'll talk business during a break. If you see a paramedic in the hallway, tell them to take it out of your paycheck.
Wait a minute. It was you that didn't let the paramedics in last week?
In my defense, I didn't know that kid was stuck in the toilet.
Of course. You're just the guy who cleans the bathroom. You know everything going on in the rec. Yet somehow missed that one of my power forwards was on a Gorilla Glue spree.
I had headphones on.
Well, see my head? I have my investigations cap on. So give me some information, and don't phone it in. Headphone.
I'll give you some info. I'm trying to get back to not talking to you, so this info is free of charge. Here it is. Toe Jam Pimpkin spewed all over your office.
Right, I know, I told you about that. And I'm here about that too. I'm wasting your time. Don't turn this around and waste my time.
But here's the thing. I overheard Miss Pimpkin say he has to get his gallbladder removed in July. He'll be out of the game. Not to mention he got sick 3 times last season. All 3 separate game nights. You can check my sick journal and see for yourself. Might be time to find a point guard without such a severe case of Dunkhausen syndrome.
There's no way he's faking this illness. We have a rec center mini golf course sized pond in my office right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Ooh, there's a new stuffed crust pizza at Bobby Rat's.
Bug stares intently at his little baby TV set. An advertisement for Bobby Rat's Pizza Rodentorium keeps his attention. We'll get Bobby Rat's for the whole rec after we win the big game. My office is 80% goop water. I can't work on strategically sound basketball plays with a swamp desk.
Is it just Tiny Boy Toe Jam? Any other ball hounds blow chunks?
They've gone Nosferatu on me. This could be a Powerade recall. Or someone poisoned my team.
Go back and see if you have a new paint job in the locker room. Maybe the rec committee will finally fund my inquiry for bigger mops. And a 2 for $20 Rattaroni pizza combo with a 2-liter. Now that's a deal.
Bug, if you've seen anyone suspicious, besides the paramedics, would you tell me?
I see suspicious people all the time. One is standing in my doorway right now. I actually don't know that for sure. I'm looking at my TV.
Maybe you've seen someone who looks like they know their way around poison? Perhaps they have gear to clean up after themselves. Hide the crime. I don't want to have to accuse our opposing team's janitor of scandalous activities. Or maybe our team's janitor? The janitor who has access to the rec center poison archives. Maybe one with a bald spot at 28? You know, the back of the head I'm talking to right now. Bug's commercial hypnosis is broken by the accusation. He turns on his sitting bucket to face the coach.
Come on, I get a 15-minute break every 3 hours. You really gotta fill my bucket with work stuff during TV time?
You don't have to do much, Bug. Just your job. When your pizza commercials end, check the poison archives. See if anything is missing. I'll talk to the kids and find out where they got the bad Powerade.
I'll help. I want you to know, Charm, that I believe you. Mostly because you're as blue as Tobias Funke in an Arrested Development Funniest Moments compilation. I'll tell the Rec Cafe to stop selling Powerade, then I'll cut off the vending machines. Then I'll take another 15.
That's gonna take you 3 hours? What about my office?
You think it's easy to convince me to do something? Try convincing the cafe to stop selling their most popular drink. In the meantime, take over Welma's office. Throw paper balls in there. And let me know when she's done waxing the court. I want to degum the bleachers.
I think the bleachers can wait. I need my office. All of my plays are in there. We don't have a plan for the big game.
Sounds like you might not have a team, Charm. That would mean no big game.
Let's not double dribble to conclusions. The big game is still on. This is just a 3-second violation. I'm gonna whip my team into shape. The kids from Doug County are tough. They're like the Space Jam aliens times 2.
The Monstars? You know they were animated to be good at basketball, right?
Let me get out of your hair so I can get this blue out of my hair. Then you can show up and get the blue out of my office. Enjoy the 6 minutes and 42 seconds you have left of your mini TV break.
How do you know the amount of time still left in my break?
Doesn't matter. But let me ask you one more thing. Have you seen a librarian around here?
Gina or Gerald?
Deborah.
No. Goodbye, Charm.
Bug returns to squinting at his mouse-sized television set. Unfortunately for Bug, the Bobby Rat's Pizza Rodentorium commercial ended long ago. Now, a commercial for a sandwich-themed horror picture titled Son of the Sub, Hoagie's Revenge plays. Not to sound like a principal or nothing, but I'll see you in my office later, mister. Coach P.I.C.S turns away from the janitor and grips the whistle on his chest. He releases a sigh of relief. In times like these, the courage of a whistle can make even the weakest sports counselor feel mighty. The coach needs his whistle's command, and his whistle needs the coach's lips and spit. How else will a small metal device release its informational tune? A coach's duty is to let the whistle sing. If P.I.C.S can't play his tune, he'd be breaking the coach's code. Never let your whistle down. Though the coach has gotten past the pondering portion of his morning, he's struck with a brand new set of insecure queries. Will sickness serve a death blow to the season? Could it put the Whistle Command Center in a chokehold? Will there be another opportunity to prove his worth as a physical advisor? When will people start liking his Instagram posts? Asking himself these self-pitying questions outside of the basketball court makes Charm shudder. Ugh. Blue walls, blue floors, and blue children greet the coach as he returns to the locker room. It was a fair shade of popsicle orange and champagne peach in here when I left. How can you guys contain this much liquid? Coach Static walks out of her office. She's covered from head to toe in the team's latest favorite color. Both coaches share their disgust in this slimy situation.
Coach, I heard the hubbub and ran in as fast as I could. I've canceled today's practice. Last thing we need on the fresh wax is blue.
You finished that? Greene wants to degum the bleachers instead of de-bluing my office.
Bug needs to detach his hand from his pud and get here with the biggest mop he's got.
I don't think the rec board has approved a mop big enough for this.
That's just another Bug excuse. That guy is full of slime and excuses.
He may be a slacker, but he's been keeping the locker room relatively clean. My office was spotless before Toe Jam worked his magic.
That's because I've always been keeping it that way, Coach. It's been a month since he stepped foot in here. All he did was clip his toenails in the shower. I got a nail lodged in my crock. What kind of janitor doesn't even clean up after himself?
Nasty. He must like the way the nail clipper clips echo off the shower walls. I can picture the sound of each clip bouncing around like some sort of reverberama. And his hubris telling him to leave every clip on the floor like he's an assassin in the John Wick universe. That's why he's at the top of my suspect list in this whole thing. Nasty guys leave nasty trails. Plus, he knows way too much. You should see the amount of podcasts he listens to in a day.
Bug is the type of guy who would not just listen to podcasts, but actually start one. He disgusts me.
Hey, let's not get carried away. Podcasting is an art. You just need to find the right voice. Speaking of podcasts, let's hear what these kids have to say. Wilson, Polmeyer, Scripps, you all drink Blue Powerade?
Yes, Coach. Thanks.
My God, I could have sworn you three preferred the purple flavor. Where'd you guys get this stuff?
We do prefer grape, but shindig, cooler, band room.
A shindig in the band room? Of course! I wasn't invited again.
Why would band dorks need electrolytes?
I don't know, but we gotta get in there and cut the source, ASAP. Warm up the investigation's one wheel. We're riding over there and dunking this blue menace. Those band dorks must have thought it would be really funny to poison the jocks. Well, I'm gonna break each of their long whistles, one by one.
I believe you're referring to the flute, Coach.
The most ineffectual whistle of all time.
What about brass and percussion?
I'll just break their femurs.
But Coach, I'm the one that breaks the bones.
Right. You focus on the femurs. I'll run headfirst at that rat conductor AC flat. He'll see me barreling toward him, get scared, and then curl up into a little ball. Then we'll make his band play round ball rock until he confesses.
Oh, I'll put the round ball rock music sheets in my investigation pack.
While you're at it, call the parents. They may want to get their kids some yellow Gatorade to combat the blue Powerade.
Already done. You can probably guess who they blamed.
Oh, the parents blamed society?
Sure. You are a member of society after all.
We have a band meeting to attend.
And don't forget your instrument.
Coach P.I.C.S pulls up his left pant leg. Attached to his thigh is a large brass whistle with a sharp mouthpiece. He shakes it. Sharp pieces of shrapnel rattle around inside.
Did you make that in the rec center workshop?
Nah, I've been in the workshop so much lately because it has a great bathroom. I bought this bad boy from a military coaching surplus.
Welma nods in approval. Charm starts juggling the brass whistle like a clown. Around the locker room, frail players clap weakly as the coach works through his clown routine. Coach Clown puts on a big red nose and honks a big horn that he keeps in a nearby locker. A lot of the kids pass out from laughter. A few kids vomit. For a minute, the locker room becomes a worthwhile place to be. Despite the crudely painted blue walls and floor, Coach Clown works through his routine until every team member has passed out.
You think they passed out from laughter or sickness?
Definitely laughter. Coach Clown is one of your best characters.
That's true. Though you have to admit that he's not as cerebral as Coach Mime. Now let's get to band class. We have a score to settle, and it's gonna be played by us. With our fists.
Both coaches roll down hallway after hallway on their way to the rec center band room. The investigative one wheel is actually two one wheels strung together with a basketball net. Each detective coach has their feet firmly belted in separate one wheels. When they warm up the makeshift two one wheel for a ride, they take turns as shoulder holder. Coach Static holds Coach P.I.C.S shoulders as they glide forward with the steadfast pace only two one wheels latched together can provide.
How'd you come up with the Coach Clown character anyway?
I went to a doctor. The doctor said I was depressed and...
And the doctor said you should go see the great clown Pagliacci? And you say, tears in your eyes, but doctor, I am Pagliacci. I've heard this joke before, Coach.
No. The doctor said I should pick up a hobby, so I picked up clowning. It led me to places, one involving Pagliacci. But, well, let's just say I don't kiss and tell.
You kissed Pagliacci? Ooh, what'd you tell him?
It's worse. We got a few beers once. Met Pagliacci through a clowning buddy. My then girlfriend decided to kiss him, and then she decided to tell me she loved him. That's why I don't kiss and tell. It was very rude of her to do both of those things.
You were cucked by Pagliacci?
Pagliacci took my girl. They ran away together and lived happily ever after. Add to it that he's really rich and fairly well endowed. I saw their tape on the news. Long blur. It was then that I decided I'm never seeing Pagliacci perform ever again. Even if he did cure my depression the last time I saw him perform.
Man, I bet you wish you were him.
Hold up, here's the band room.
The coaches ride the investigative one-wheel through the bandroom doors. Metaphorically, both one-wheels are knocked out from under them by a shocking reveal.
My God, it's bluer in here than it was in the locker room.
Maybe band dorks can contain more vomit than jocks.
Around the spacious room, instruments and senior citizens lie passed out in thick pools of blue. A.C. Flat, the turtle-necked, bespectacled band conductor, rocks back and forth in a very blue corner. Blue smears his face and hands as his fetal positioning makes a pathetic squish, squish sound. A.C. lifts his head to the intrepid coaches. The conductor's disheveled glasses and hair stick with strands of blue goop.
The horror. The horror. My God, AC, you've got a blue-gray massacre in here. The senior symphonic band needs electrolytes.
Coach, I don't think the band dorks poisoned our team. I have a hunch there's someone even more evil than old people playing games with the rec center.
That would have to be some sort of supervillain. You think any stand-up comedians are in town? Blues. We were playing the blues.
Someone has to get this guy off the floor. Maybe Bug will get him once he's done degumming the bleachers.
AC, do you have any clues for us? See any weirdos around? See any 5'4" librarians? I don't. It was in cooler. Left for old meets young shindig. Generational event. Seniors and kids. Drinking blue. I got to the rec center. When the event ended, we barely got through our warm-up. We played the blues. Warm-up? You make these oldsters run laps? They have weak knees. You make me sick. Not as sick as this.
Did you call for the paramedics, AC?
I've been busy. Rocking back and forth.
Well, he's gone.
The coach PIs look away from the fetally positioned wimp to examine the blue band room. About 30 senior citizens float on the wet floor. A few cuddle their instruments. Others lie face down in the muck. A lone didgeridoo player sits in an unconscious crisscross applesauce on a small pile of trombone players.
Oldsters put their fiber away to try the power of electrolytes? Now I've heard of everything.
This seems more intense than it was in the locker room. They clearly haven't been microdosing poison to become immune. Not like someone I know.
I was just going through a Rasputin phase. Everyone has one.
Coach, let's sweep the area. See what clues we can find. We should grab a sample of the blue, find out the poison, and trace it to the source. Whoever did this knew they were poisoning kids and oldsters. We're dealing with a real sick freak.
Good thing 30-year-olds aren't the target. Nobody wants to kill a 30-year-old. They're so sweet.
Here's the darndest thing. I think the real target is a certain 53-year-old, and his name is me.
I'd call you a narcissist, but you might be right. Why else would they use your beloved electrolytes for evil?
Whoever did this has to know I made Blue Powerade the official drink of the Good County Wise Guys. They don't like that. Someone wants to take me out, and it ain't for steak and eggs.
But you have an iron gut, Coach.
This person must not know me well enough. That takes head janitor Bug Greene off the list.
So why the band room? If they want to poison you, they could just slip it in your Stanley.
Maybe they know poisoning the kids and oldsters would do something worse than killing me. It would ruin the public's perception of my beverage preferences. That would destroy my reputation.
No offense, Coach, but I don't think your reputation is doing that great as is. Maybe they're after the reputation of a certain young and peppy assistant coach.
Or they know more than we think. They know I like to use AC Flat's private bathroom. A band room would be a real ironic place to poison a jock. And with his favorite drink, too. Head janitor Bug Greene is back at the top of the list. Is that why toilet always clogged? That must be someone else. Every shot I make is a swish. Gross.
You know, there's so much vomit in here, and yet I smell nothing.
Good stinking, Coach. It doesn't smell like blue in here at all. Cooler in my office. Thinking about room temperature at a time like this?
Coach, I think AC is saying the cooler containing the poisonous Powerade is in his office.
Do we need it? We've got plenty of Powerade out here.
The cooler is a certified clue.
Oh, that's what's up. I love a good clue.
AC Flat sputters in terror. With eyes as round as blueberries, AC stiffens. The conductor's body becomes paralyzed in a wet prison of electrolytic substance.
He'll be fine.
The coach and the assistant coach step around the unconscious octogenarians with squomps and splats. A clarinet floats through the muck and pokes Coach P.I.C.S in the shin.
Yow! That stick stabbed me in the shin.
There's a lot of buttons on that thing. Should I press one and see what happens?
No! It could be rigged with an explosive device. We've established this already, but it bears repeating. We're dealing with a real sicko. Even this button stick could cause an innumerable amount of pain and suffering.
I guess that's why they call it the blues.
In this room, everything is the blues.
I can't believe all these oldsters vomited so much that they died. That's gonna be a lot of funerals.
Whoa, we don't know if these oldsters are dead. Let's try something. I'll blow my whistle and see if anyone stirs.
Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Eerie. Not even a single mouse stirred.
And mice love to stir.
They turned this place into a Blue Man Group concert and don't have the decency to leave a beach ball.
I don't know, Coach. Beach balls are used in the Blue Man Group's finale. And something tells me that we're far from the grand finale of this show.
So if we're going by a Blue Man Group analogy, we'll know this is over when we're covered in toilet paper and bouncing beach balls about?
Maybe. It's been a long time since I've seen the Blue Man Group. What made matters worse was we were late to the show. They pointed the cameras at us. They brought me up on stage and shot me with paintball cannons. Oh God, no. Never again.
Get it together, Coach. You got a great shirt from that show. It makes it look like you're splattered with paint. You wear it all the time.
Coach, what if what we find in AC's office is bad?
Of course it'll be bad. Have you ever heard of a good Poison? I guess there's the band Poison, but they only have a few good songs, so I don't think they count.
I mean worse than bad. Like super bad. I mean, like we won't be laughing, unlike when we watch Superbad.
Coach, the worst time to think things are gonna go wrong is when things are going wrong. Whatever we find in there is just another clue.
The coaches simultaneously kick the office door down. Blue fluid rushes in at their feet. A big orange sports cooler sits on AC Flat's desk. In the dark, the cooler looks like a tall orange head bleeding blue.
Rats. No librarian here.
Charm and Welma stand side by side, staring down at the orange sports cooler. The coaches exchange a nervous look. The clue radiates bad energy. Coach Static lifts the cooler and shakes. Empty. She flips the cooler to its bottom and gives the butt a look. What the assistant coach sees makes her eyes go as wide as the eyes of the band leader currently locked in vomit.
Coach, I was right.
Before you say what you were right about, do you think you could fill that up and pour it on me? It's been a while since I've had a celebratory orange cooler dousing. Today's dousing was just, nothing but derogatory.
Look.
Coach Static holds the cooler's butt to Coach P.I.C.S. What he sees is the most shocking clue yet. Written on the bottom of the cooler in faded Sharpie are the words, "Return to Coach P.I.C.S."
That's the locker room cooler. I fill that thing up every game so the team has something to dunk on me. This explains why they poured a cup of hot coffee on me at the last game. I just thought they were mad at me.
What do we do?
We need to call someone who can get to the bottom of why I would poison my whole team.
End of Act 1, Part 2.
Bobby Rat here. In the world of pizza places aplenty, Bobby Rat's Pizza Rodentarium has emerged from the bottom of the sewer to the topping on your pie. A slice of this rat's dough disc will have you thinking you've caught the Black Plague. And let me tell ya, these are medieval deals. We got 2 for $20 Razzaroni pizzas with a 2-liter. Try our family meal designed with your 76 pups in mind. The Bobby Family Rabbit Pack comes with sewage sticks, some mouth-watering turd tiramisu, and a large pellet lover's pizza. Then try our new stuffed crust pizza. What's it stuffed with? Probably cheese! If we don't get your pizza to your house in 30 minutes or less, you gotta forgive us! We're rats, for Christ's sake! I get all of my employees to form a guy who can drive a car, but our rats, we take our time. You better come on down to Bobby Rat's Pizza Rodentarium. I know you're hungry, and I know what you like.
Christian Crow!